time.
It's only the one, bro.
Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm laughing at my wife. She just walked in and told a joke. But thank y'all very much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you for allowing the State of the Saints podcast to be a part of your Monday morning. First off, I want to apologize to all the members of the Who That Nation. Well, I'm not really going to apologize because, family comes first. On yesterday, I wasn't able to do a long podcast review on the Saints game because I was actually watching my son. Well, I won't say watching my son, but my son was with me. Right, he was with me, and my son at this age, he's really rambunctious and he's always exploring. So it's kind of hard for me to actually do a show and actually watch him at the same time. Make sure that he don't do anything to himself, hurt himself, or anything like that. So I had to cut the show short. But we're here today. We're here right now, and we're going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints game. And I know it's early for some of you. Some of you may be at work tuning in. But for those that may not be at work and have a little bit of time on their hands, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link inside of the comments. So if you want to be a part of the State of the Saints podcast, feel free to call in. Feel free to call in. Let me know what you thought about the game. If you checked out the reviews that I did, I pretty much broke the game down. I said a lot of things, about the team, what I thought offensively, defensively, what I thought about the Carolina Panthers as a whole. So if you have not already, please check out those reviews of the post game of the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints. But I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody that is in the chat right now. Buck Skull Gain in the house. Thank you very much. Ace is here. Jamal is here. Key is here. Derek, Shanzi, Ren. Thank y'all so much for being a part of the podcast. And once again, I'm just going to go ahead and hit this little link. So if you want to talk a little bit about the game, feel free to do so. The New Orleans Saints. They ended up getting this victory, man. They got this victory where their back was against the wall. Two receivers, Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders didn't play in this game. That's the Saints' number one and number two receivers. And the Saints still found a way to win. And, I had opportunity to go on some of these rival pages. I'm part of these pages, where you go there and you talk a little smack. And, I let it be known. People say that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the way that they're playing right now, first off, I just want to say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers look really, really good. As far as the NFC South, they're probably the most complete team when it comes to from start to finish getting results. Right now, they're the best team in the South. I will concede today. But that does not mean that they are the best team, period, in the whole NFC South. That means they're the best. They're the best in the South as of right now. The overall team, I feel like the Saints are. There is no other team I feel like in NFC South would have been able to win a game like the Saints won on yesterday. Here you had Drew Brees and you had these wide receivers he had absolutely no chemistry with, and he goes out there and balls out. If you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you look at the Carolina Panthers, you look at the Falcons, they're not winning games like this, all right? We all know that the stars have to be aligned for Tom Brady. You got to have this weapon and that weapon. We know that with Carolina, they got a lot of young wide receivers, but none of those guys are household names. And as far as the Falcons are concerned, if Julio goes down, then there's not really much else they can do. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Ridley is a good number two, but there's going to be a huge drop-off in production at the wide receiver position. the Saints elevate their game. When there's a issue or there's a player that they really depend on to be detriment to the success of the team, it seems like the Saints step up. We seen it last season, which Drew Brees was out 5 games. The defense stepped it up. Teddy Bridgewater did his thing. Alvin Kamara was out there. Michael Thomas stepped his game up. You look at what's going on this season. Michael Thomas hasn't played since week 1. All the receivers on the New Orleans Saints team, from Traquan Smith to Deontay Harris, from Marquez Callaway, all these guys stepped up. Emmanuel Sanders. So this team right here, to me, I feel like can beat anybody. And I don't want anybody to look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game or look at the Falcons game or look at some of these other teams out here in the South and be like, well, look at the margin of victory, because I don't feel like that tells the whole story. That don't mean that you're going to just be dominant just because you beat a team by a certain amount of points. It matters only if you win. You know what I'm saying? And most times when the best are playing the best, the game is going to be close anyway. I mean, look at the Tennessee Titans versus Pittsburgh Steelers game. That was nip and tuck. It was right there. So I really feel like there's not a single team in the NFC South, and that includes the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well as they're playing right now, would have won that game yesterday with the circumstances like that. Sean Payton and his offensive staff had to stay up 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday to implement this new game plan. I mean, y'all got to think about this. The game is Sunday. They do most of their installments like around Thursday, Wednesday or something like that, right? Because Monday, you know what I'm saying, they'll go into the facility, they break down the game film from Carolina. Tuesday, they get the day off, but the coaches are still there. Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, the coaching staff are looking and evaluating the players and stuff like that of the team that they have to play against next week. Thursday, they have an installment. Friday, they having practice. Saturday, they having practice to get themselves prepared to go up against the opposing team. So by them doing this on a Friday at like 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning is a testament to how good this coaching staff is. I know we give them a lot of criticism, but they deserve our praise this game. No doubt about that. Eric, man, what's going on?
What's up, man? Thanks to the podcast. TJ, man. I was scoreboard watching yesterday. Watching.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this. The Bucs do have one legitimate win. We beat the undefeated Green Bay Packers.
Right.
One legitimate win.
Right.
And the Saints have one legitimate win, beating the Bucs week 1.
Right.
That's a legitimate win.
Yeah. No doubt about it, man.
I give Saints credit for as a Bucs fan. You guys won without Michael Thomas. You guys won without Emmanuel Sanders.
Right.
You guys, the Saints team is not that bad as a pushover. They're not. By the Bucs, Adam Turner and Brown by week 9, I don't know will he be ready to go, but it's going to be a good game though. I really think it's going to be a good game because the Saints won at their house. I think the Bucs should win at their house. It's going to be. What do you? Because who you guys play next? The Saints. Who do you play next?
Play the Chicago Bears. You got to play the Bears. That's not a gimme game at all, and it's in Chicago. So
wow, you guys going? Wow,
gonna be a tough one.
And the Bucs get an easy game this week.
Yeah.
Wow,
against arguably the worst team in football with the New York Giants, but
besides the Jets.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you just take your pick of the team in New York, man. Any team in New York right now, for the exception of Buffalo, are not really playing well, man.
Man, Saints and Panthers game. Let's get back to the game because that's what Saints the podcast is about, man. The Saints game. Yeah,
no doubt, man.
I was watching you guys' game before the Bucs game got up 4 something. I was watching you guys' game. It was a hell of a game, though. Those turnovers, penalties. There was some crazy penalties in that game.
Yeah, I didn't get an opportunity to watch. Are you talking about the Saints game or the Bucs game, Eric?
Saints game.
Oh yeah.
I was scoreboard because I really wanted to count on the Saints to tie that game. I really wanted the tie, but that didn't happen.
Right. Well, I mean, it was a good game all around. It didn't surprise me at all. I mean,
Drew Brees looked good though. Without their 2 starting receivers.
Yep.
But you think they can? Well, Saints got 2 tough games back to back Down
Yeah.
stretch, 2 road games, down stretch. Wow, god damn.
Yeah, man, it's not gonna be easy. You know, that's why they got to make sure that they got to make sure that they bring their A game. You know, no doubt about that. So hopefully they can get Michael Thomas back. I mean, I'm hearing that he might miss one more week. Maybe Emmanuel Sanders be able to get out of I think he'll be out of COVID-19 protocol at that time.
NFC South this year, you know what's crazy?
What's that?
The Bucks can beat the Packers, but nobody in the NFC South can beat the Bears.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about schemes, Eric. I mean, that's what people have to understand. You know, when you go up against a team, that team might have they might be good schematically, and it might be something that they do well. Well, it's the way that a defense or offense is designed, right? So let's just say, for example, like yesterday, Carolina plays a lot of what they call zone defense. Zone defense, you know what I'm saying, that leaves the middle of the field wide open. And also there's what they call soft spots. There's like different areas, designated areas that can bat against a zone. So when Drew Brees throws the ball, you'll probably see the middle of the field wide open. You'll probably see the right corner open or the left corner open. So some teams do things pretty well. And when you go up against that team, you might have that advantage because they run a defense or offense a certain type of way. So
by looking at it, hey, look at this. By looking at NFC, do you think it's going to determine who? Because NFC North and NFC South, is it going to determine who? Because whoever wins, because it's going to determine about the playoff season. Because the Bears and Packers and Bucks and the Saints.
Yeah. Well, Eric, look, it's not like it was last season, right? You had the number 1 and the number 2 seeds, and they had a first round bye.
Yeah.
The only one that's going to get a first round bye this season is the number 1 seed because there's an additional playoff team. So they went from having 6 teams to 7 teams. So unless you're like, just setting the world on fire, you know what I'm saying, maybe winning like 1 or 2 games, there's only going to be one number 1 seed. So if you don't get that number 1 seed, I mean, you're going to have to play on wild card weekend. So
who do you think gets? But look at this. Whoever wins the 2nd seed gets to get home field and still to play the number 1 seed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They'll still get, you know what I'm saying, a couple home games. Yeah, that is true.
Until the championship round.
Absolutely. Yeah, but they just have to play on wild card weekend, which give them a stronger possibility of losing. So it's still that dynamic. You're not sitting at home watching the playoffs and looking at who your opponent is going to be.
How do you feel about the NFC East? One of these teams has to play the NFC South, though. That's going to be crazy. If one of the NFC East teams plays a Bucks team on the road or Saints team, that's going to be crazy because they get to host a home game.
Right.
And that's not fair.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those seasons. I mean,
does it make sense, though? Would it be?
No, absolutely not. It doesn't make sense at all. But that's the way the rules are.
Look at this. A Bucks and Saints team will be 11-12 team. And maybe an NFC East will probably be a 6 team, or maybe a 5-game team win.
Yeah, I mean, but they won their division, so I guess you have to look at it that way. But Eric, I got to go ahead and go, man. I got a couple more phone calls, but thank you so much, man. Call back anytime, my friend. All right, all right, take care, man. Shouts out to Eric, man. I think he's Buck Skull game, if I'm not mistaken, man. Shouts out to Eric, man. Good call right there. We're gonna move on. Go to Ace, man. Ace, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's up, TJ? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Just ready to talk about this Saints game, man. What you thought about the game on yesterday? What was your take?
I had some good points, some bad points. The first good point, how Drew Brees played. They had a couple of things he did very well. Right. I like how Marquez Crowley, I've been preaching for him since before the season. So he played real well. Been eating them zones up. My big thing is with the defense, man. It's just that defense is so frustrating. The technique they got them playing is just ridiculous, man. It's like people can't turn their head around. People just falling out of coverage. There's the single high safety thing. It just needs to go. You need to play 2 high safety if that's what y'all got to do every day. I play cornerback, so I see what they're doing wrong, and it's just frustrating. it's like I think I've been saying in the comments. It's like since they got the celebration taken, like the defense, the defensive backs is just like they lost their swagger. Like they just lost their swagger. That's how I feel. I don't know how everybody else feel, but that's how I feel. Ever since they got the celebration taken, it just fell off. But that's my big thing.
Well, Ace, I think you make some good points, man. And you've been being a former secondary guy, like back in the day. I will say this, man. I think it goes beyond just some handshakes and you know what I'm saying, some celebrations.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's between the ears right now. I mean, it seems like to me, and I hate to say it like this, but it just seems like the Saints secondary players aren't very smart. I mean, it just as simple as that. Because if you're getting beat the same way every single week and you're missing reads every single week, I mean, there's only so much a coaching staff can teach you. When you're out there on the field, man, when you're playing safety, and the Saints give Marcus Williams a lot of a lot of leeway, you know what I'm saying, for him to make this decision. It's not like how it was when PJ Williams was out there or something like that. Malcolm Jenkins gives him an opportunity to play free because even though Malcolm Jenkins may not be what he used to be, he's still smart enough to understand offensive concepts and understand what he needs to be, what type of offense that the team is running at that particular time to put itself in position to make a play or not get beat. So that gives Marcus Williams an opportunity to play the middle of the field. Now, I wasn't a fan of this before, but I think the way that the Saints are structured, I think they might want to go ahead and call Earl Thomas. Like, I'm serious, man. And the reason why is because the way that they have Marcus Williams playing, which is free, I feel like that would play into the hands of Earl Thomas because that's what made Earl Thomas so special out there in Seattle. He was able to call his own shots. And that was the reason why he struggled in Baltimore, because Baltimore had a more of a complex defense that calls for him to actually play a certain type of scheme. He didn't do that in Seattle. So I feel like if you actually was to call somebody like him, I think that the Saints are probably be able to have somebody out there. Now, he's not what he used to be, but I think that he would be in better position.
Give more than what Marcus is giving.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah. Absolutely. I just feel like he should be a part of the rotation, Ace. Or anything else. Anything else, man. What do you expect from the Saints going forward, man? I mean, they're 4-2 right now. They're a game back from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think about this team, man, going forward?
They just got to be more aggressive and physical, man. Just got to play physical. And if you look at the Tampa Bay game, I watched the Tampa Bay game yesterday. Them balls is flying to the ball. They fly to the ball. It's like they galvanize when adversity hits them. And the Saints just need to play physical and fast. They're missing. I seen the game yesterday. Missing tackles. Anzalone looked like a shell of himself yesterday. I don't know what the heck he was doing. He was getting lost in coverage a little bit. And I just want them to play physical. I want them to have fun. They don't look like they're having fun on defense no more. It just look like they're just out there. And it just kind of
look like they're thinking too much and not playing free. I guess.
Right. And that's just my big thing. And just coming from a defensive back. So I just want them to see play physical, fast, and aggressive. Just beyond it. And because Chicago's next, Chicago gonna bring that fire.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely, man. And they're gonna have to be ready for it. Ace, man, thank you so much, man. Man, you can call back anytime you want to, my brother.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to catch you when I'm not at work, so I caught you in the morning.
Yeah, man, I'm going to try to start doing more shows in the morning because I actually work overnight myself now, man. So I try to, you know what I'm saying, I'm already up. So I'm going to start doing more morning shows, man, for y'all, man. So I appreciate the call.
All right.
All right, take it easy. All right. Man, shouts out to Ace, man. We're going to move on to my guy, Who That Davis, man. What's going on, man?
Yeah, TJ, what's going on, brother? I finally got my connection working right. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Oh, man.
What you got, man? We're talking about the game, Carolina Panthers, New Orleans Saints game, man. Nip and tuck all the way to the end. What are your final thoughts on this game, man, before we put it to rest?
You already know how I do things. The good, the bad, the ugly. I'm going to start with the good. Andrews Pete. I got to give my credit where it's due, man.
Oh, yeah.
For once. Actually, it was
best game in the Saints uniform.
It was not the weakest link on the offensive line. It was Hurts. He got beat on the edge. And the result was a strip sack. That potentially took out 14 points for the Saints. The other one being that ridiculous offensive pass interference call for Trey. But he getting out there on the edges, throwing people around. That's the Andrew Speed I want to see on a consistent basis. He did it against the Chargers. He did it this past week against a tough divisional opponent in Teddy Bridgewater. Like this, this is high level Pete stuff. So if he can keep that up, he's really going to show that he's worth the 5-year extension that the Saints gave him. Another bright spot was Marquez Callaway, 8 receptions for 75 yards. Deontay Harris coming alive in a 2-minute drill that set up for a touchdown. These two guys answered the call when Sanders and Thomas went down. A lot of questions were, but at the same time, the offense was never in question to begin with. When you're still putting up 30.6 points a game without your top weapons, that shows how dangerous they can really be on offense when those two guys come on the field at the same time. So this is a blessing in disguise. We see Drew Brees unloading it further down the field, 10, 15 yards down the field to these guys. Is going to be really special. Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara, they're still getting 4.5, 4.7 yards per carry on the ground. That is nuts. That is scary to think about. And I know the defensive line didn't finish plays, but they still got back there. They're still showing they can get to the quarterback. They can hurry them throws up and force incompletions. We're seeing more of Zach Bond. I know he didn't get the amount of reps I'm hoping he'd get, but we see him slowly coming on as the weeks progress. I'm hoping to see him again next week against Chicago Bears. The bad James Hurst. I know he was a bright spot for me when we signed him, especially with some offensive line help. But that level of play is unacceptable, especially with the level of upside talent he's shown in his tenure in Baltimore. It's unacceptable. The ugly was the secondary. Now, granted, Marshawn Lattimore gave up 2 receptions for 15 yards. That's the Marshawn Lattimore we need to see on a consistent basis. And there was no big time receivers, but instead Robbie Anderson and maybe DJ Moore. But the ugly was the secondary. I have to give credit to where it's due to Joe Brady. He saw blood in the slot with Robbie Anderson, CJ Gardner-Johnson. He attacked it, and moved the chains. And busted coverages. I don't know what Marcus Williams was looking at when he dropped down on the covered receiver, but that's a single high safety. He's playing in the middle of the field. That's where he needs to be. Now, you mentioned earlier about Center Earl Thomas. I think we already have our own version of Earl Thomas and DJ Swearinger. Why we haven't been using him as much, I don't know.
Point.
He was really good when he was playing for Washington, but that's my take. But I really think we need to see more of DJ Swearinger before we start looking at Earl Thomas, because he was really good in Week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think Dennis Allen really has something there. But going forward, next week we have Chicago Bears. The pass rush is one of the best in the league so far this year, but their offense is kind of suspect. Now, granted, Nick Foles can get the ball out of his hands quickly with a 2.3 second quick catch and release time. That was going to be a close game. Going down the schedule, I see us losing to the San Francisco 49ers by 9 points, but that's the only loss I see in that 4-game stretch. I think we're going to beat Tampa at home. I don't think they're as good as the potential of the Saints defense. Now, granted, because of the fact that the Teddy Bridgewater wasn't all that good, it was more like the Saints defense secondary was just bad. So he wasn't beating us; we were beating ourselves, and that's something we have to correct, especially when the NFC South title is going to hinge on that Tampa Bay and Saints game. And if we can just win out like I know we can, I think we should be okay. But Drew Brees turning back the clock once again with these players. Marquez Callaway keeping the legacy of the MC12 alive. Big shout out to this offense. Big shout out to the defensive line. And I'm still seeing potential in the secondary, but they can just tighten up, do what they need to do. I think we're going to see a 4-time NFC South champion in the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, man. I mean, you made some very interesting points in there. Also, that thought about DJ Swearinger, man. I mean, I just don't understand it. I don't understand why the New Orleans Saints don't use him more. Every time he's out there, you can tell that he's out there. I don't know what this love affair they got with PJ Williams and all these other guys that really just don't make no sense having these guys in the lineup, but you have DJ Swearinger a healthy scratch. I just don't get it. But Who Dat Davis, man, thank you so much, man, for the information. I know a lot of people learned a lot, you know what I'm saying, and also got a clear perspective, man, of what you think about this team going forward, man. Call back anytime, brother. All right. Man, shouts out to Who Dat Davis, man. That's a bright mind right there, man. Real solid cat. I can't get your name, man. Welcome.
Don't worry about it.
Huh?
Don't worry about it. My first time calling in, by the way.
Yeah, man. What's going on, man? We talking about
it is Ramsey. It was me from my other time chatting with you on your other streams.
Oh, Ramsey, man. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. This is my first time, but when the Saints win, our secondary is terrible. Letting things go across the field, no. Our run defense is incredible. Only letting 12 yards on the ground is good. Right. We just need to get the pass coverage down. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
if we get that down, we're perfect.
Absolutely. I want to know what you thought about I got to say this. I got to admit, the Carolina Panthers offensive line is much better than I thought it was. Like, when I say the Saints for a good portion of that game couldn't get, like, no pressure on Teddy. I mean, Teddy couldn't knit a sweater in that pocket. And then when Russell Okung went down, that's when, they were able to start getting a little bit of pressure. But I got to give credit what credit is due for the Carolina Panthers offensive line. But I do understand what you're saying. I do feel like the weak links is the secondary. But, Ramsey, just looking at the secondary, if just put your GM hat on just for a tad bit of a second, all right? If you were actually controlling the secondary, you was running this squad, what would you do to fix this secondary? Like, what would you move? You know what I'm saying? What would you try to do? Like, what would be your vision for the secondary?
My vision is learning how to tackle properly. We let go of a lot of clear tackles. If we don't do that, you can't win a game.
All right.
Period.
True.
Because if you can't let go of a tackle, let them break through. You're trying to strip the ball when you don't need to. Oh, yeah. They need to learn to turn around and focus on the ball, not the player all the time.
Right.
You have to get those clear tackles when they're opportunity to. Don't go after the ball every time.
Yeah. I just think that I just think sometimes those be like ego plays, right? So if a wide receiver catches a pass over you and it's a deep pass, I think they feel like by trying to remove the ball out of the hands of the receiver, it'll make, I guess, like a bad play. You know what I'm saying? If they're placed a little bit of hero ball, if you will, you know what I'm saying? By jacking the ball out the guy's hand, trying to, you know what I'm saying, strip the ball. But they make matters worse. Like by trying to fight with a guy already know you're going to try to rip the ball out of his hand, so he's going to stop at nothing to make sure that you don't. So you're basically allowing this guy to drag you about, you know what I'm saying, 5 to 10 more yards. And I have to agree with you on this one, Ramsey, when you're talking about tackling, because there was one play. If this define the way the Saints tackle, I don't know what does. There was one play where Teddy Bridgewater checked the ball down to Curtis Samuels. Instead of them tackling the guy, Alex Anzalone hits the guy in the back and bounces him forward for 4 extra yards. So the guy could have easily lost 1 yard, but he ended up gaining 4 the way that they tackled. And it was even last week. Week before last, when Mike Williams actually caught that pass in overtime, you seen DeMario Davis, as much as I love him as a player, he actually was like hitting this guy and almost pushed him, you know what I'm saying, forward for the first down. If it wasn't for Marshawn Lattimore pulling this guy back for him to lose yards. So I do agree with you when it comes to technique, man. It just seems like there's really no technique to the Saints tackling at all, man, at all. But Drew Brees, man, my last question before I let you get up out of here. What you thought about Drew Brees in this game?
Drew Brees played incredible. I'm a big Drew Brees fan. I've always been a Drew Brees fan.
Right.
But like I said, father time. But like I told you in one comment that Drew Brees feels pressured by Sean Payton. Sean Payton should realize he's 41. You need to get a good defense around him and a good offensive line.
Yeah.
Then he can shine because father time is unbeatable.
Yep.
His arm isn't the same.
Yeah.
He put us in position to win. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He can still do that.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Payton needs to realize he's a older quarterback. He needs to get a younger quarterback behind him. Mm-hmm. Drew Brees can teach a younger quarterback how to be a champion quarterback. Yep. But Sean Payton's so arrogant not to. Yeah. He should grab a younger guy and learn and teach.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think that's the best game Drew Brees played in a long time. And if you look at the stakes, I mean, what was on the line, and also like what they didn't have, a number one and a number two receiver, and he still went out there and he balled out, man. I think that's a testament to Drew Brees. But Ramsey, man, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for calling in, man. You know, it's good to actually talk to people, you know, that I interact with on a consistent basis. Thank you so much, man. Call back anytime. I mean that, man.
I really wanted to, and I finally did.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, take care. Man, shouts out to Ramsey, man. Ramsey always in the chat, man, always asking questions, always giving comments. So shouts out to him. Justin, man, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Man, nothing much, man. What's going on with you, man? See, you look like you about to head out, man.
I'm in South Carolina, man.
Oh, man, what part? What part of South Carolina you in?
North Augusta.
Okay, man. Yeah, you be safe on that road, man. I see you got you know what I'm saying, you represent you know what I'm saying, your trucking company out there. I see you got the logo on you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
repping it long and strong.
You gotta wear a uniform, but
yeah, man. No, man. We talk about Carolina though, man, this Saints game. What's your final thoughts on the Saints victory on yesterday?
All right. So I'm gonna start off with I'm gonna go on defense first. Let's go on defense first.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Defense. I ain't ever seen the most like y'all been saying the defense have been literally being careless.
Right.
Tackling, missing tackles at that. And then I was talking to my dad. I told my dad, I said I was on the podcast with you yesterday. That we said the same thing.
Right.
Defensive line was getting their ass whooped. Even I mean Cam Jordan loved the boy to death. He had a lot of one-on-ones. They really wasn't double teaming like that. You can't say they weren't double.
Yeah, true.
And so they made, like you said, it made Teddy Bridgewater like, okay, I'm going to sit back here and just chill and just relax.
Right.
Miss tackles, like you said, Curtis Samuel, when they did that little pitch play, I know Craig Roberts don't know to be out there, but I'm used to you laying the thump.
Right.
It's wide open. I don't care if somebody trying to hit you close to you. Even though I was talking, you supposed to wrap up and hit him in the chest. I ain't no arm tackling. I saw as only doing arm tackle. I got pissed off with him. I'm like, what is that? Caden Ellis supposed to see more out of him. Right. The outside, what they're getting us is this outside too. It's not even. It's DB's true enough. When I'm saying, okay, what's name doing his job? He missed. He can't do it all. He can run side on sideline, but the outside linebacker gotta do their job too.
Right.
And they're not laying. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, why I know Kiko Alonso he got injured. He just came back. Why he didn't put him back? Cause I know he gonna hit somebody. I don't give a damn what it is. Gonna hit somebody.
Yeah, I think I think they're not trying to rush him back so quickly. Like, you just got him in practice last week, and I think that the Saints are trying to work him back into the system. I think they're probably going to see him on the field against the Chicago Bears next week. This week. I think that you're probably going to see him on the field, but they do need that sideline linebacker. You know, I think that's something that the Saints need. They need somebody opposite of Demario Davis, who is doing a good job. But I think you need somebody that can actually compliment him, like somebody that can fly around the field. And I think Kiko Alonso is that guy. Right. Kiko is a good linebacker. He's just always hurt. That's been his issue throughout his entire career, and even in college, like he's always been hurt. So I think that if they could actually get another linebacker to come in, help Demario Davis, I think that would actually help. You know what I'm saying? The running game. I think it would also help them guard tight ends. I think that it'll be a good move for the New Orleans Saints, no doubt, man. But yeah.
What's the name still out there, but I don't know. I don't know if he still got it or not. Oh, Clay Matthews, he's still out there.
Well, I think if you was to bring in somebody like Clay Matthews, it would be like for his leadership. Right. You know what I'm saying? It is him being a savvy veteran. I don't think it would be because you want him to go ahead and ball out. I don't feel that way. But right. I mean, you can call him up. I mean, there's nothing wrong with you trying to kick the tires. You know what I'm saying? See where he is. Maybe bring him in for a physical, a conditioning test, and see what type of player you'll be getting. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I do think the Saints need to address this linebacker situation. Now, I mean, we don't know if Zach Bourne is the answer. Like, we don't know. We don't know if this guy might end up being a guy that's opposite of Demario Davis. I mean, we haven't seen that just yet. So right. I want to give a kid a chance before we just go out here and just be like, oh, man, let's just go out here and just, bet the house or something like that, make a trade or something like that. So I honestly, I just thought about that as I was talking, because I said they need a linebacker, but they actually have one. So I'm going to give the guy a chance, Justin. No doubt about that, bro.
Right. Let's go, like I said, let's go back to the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
I know Michael Jenkins supposed to have been okay. The code is the captain, and probably gonna be the get the secondary right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. He's a co-captain, or he's one of the captains. They got I want to say they got 4 on the defensive side of the ball. You got Craig Robinson, you have Cam Jordan. Then you have Demario, and then there's Malcolm. So, you got 4 on the defensive side of the ball.
All right. So, my thing is, I can't stand P.J. Williams. I can't stand him. And now, okay, Marcus Williams and Marcus Lattimore, them 2 Marcuses. I'm being honest with you. I would have waited to pay Marcus Lattimore because I'm just going to be honest. I would have waited.
Well, they haven't paid him yet. You know what I'm saying? They just picked up his 5th-year option. So
right.
That just means that, if they don't decide to pay him the following year, then he have to play out his contract still. So, I mean, that's all that is.
I wouldn't even did the 5th-year option. Because right now, my boy ain't looking too hot.
Yeah, he definitely regressed. I will admit that. Like, I know I'm still one of his biggest fans. I still feel very strongly about him. But I mean, you gotta call a spade, man. He just ain't been what we thought he was gonna be. He's too up and down. It shouldn't take like, a star wide receiver to come to town for you to step up your game. You should want to play that way every week. So
right. And Marcus Williams is like he gets stuck. He getting stuck in space just like PJ Williams. He don't know what the hell. What do I want to go this way or do I want to go that way? You are a free safety. You got the smart judgment. You get to read the play.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking too much. He's second guessing. You can tell he was second guessing. I'm gonna see what Teddy go. I see the lady watching. I'm gonna see what Teddy go. Teddy try to go this way, and Teddy fooled him.
Teddy beat him with his eyes, man. Teddy actually rolled him over to the left side of the field. You know what I'm saying? That was his mistake right there.
Right.
Yeah, but Justin, man, I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta let you go, man. We got some questions I need to answer and stuff like that. But you be safe on that road. You know what it is, man. You call back anytime.
All right, man. Who that, man?
All right, who that, man? And shouts out to Justin, man, out there on that road, man. Making those deliveries. Man, shouts out to all the truck drivers. I know Justin is one of many truck drivers that we, that I have that actually listen and watch the podcast. So shouts out to all of you, man. Let's go ahead and take some of these questions and comments right here. Let's start with J Rock. J Rock says, need to cut him super trash. I don't know exactly who he was referring to, J Rock. Go ahead and let me know. I only caught the tail end of that. I'm pretty sure it's probably a conversation me and Justin was having at the time. Ben says, they should have never let Von Bell go. I have to say, I wasn't the biggest Von Bell supporter because, I was wondering about Von Bell. I was like, why did it have to take you being in your contract year in order for you to step it up? But, yeah, man, I mean, Von Bell was forcing fumbles last year. He was doing his thing, no doubt about that. J-Rock says, Saints just love hurt linebackers, shaking my head. Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like the Saints are always getting these linebackers that can't stay healthy. But exception to Demario Davis, he's been healthy his entire time with the New Orleans Saints. He's a young Kiko. I guess he's referring to Zach Bourne. Shanzi is talking about Zach Bourne. I have to give him a chance, man. I can't. When I was talking to Justin, when I was like, they need a linebacker that goes sideline to sidelines, that guy might be the answer. So I'm going to have to, reject that statement. Withdraw my statement, I should say. I'll have to withdraw my statement. Malcolm Jenkins, our worst starter. I won't say he our worst starter. I won't say that. I just think that people have to understand. I mean, Malcolm Jenkins has been in the league for 12 years. You're not going to be the same player that you were when you were young. So, I mean, he's really here for like his leadership and stuff like that, and teaching guys how to be pros in the locker room, on and off the field. So, and he played okay today. Yesterday, he played okay yesterday. I think Malcolm Jenkins played good on yesterday. I think Janoris Jenkins played outstanding. Anybody hear Janoris Jenkins' name at all? Not at all, And even for the most part, Lattimore played good on yesterday. The ones that really stood out in the secondary was C.J. Garner-Johnson and Marcus Williams' brain fart. But nevertheless, I mean, they played pretty good, man. And we got an opportunity to actually see Teddy try to throw the ball down the field. And lo and behold, the guy didn't catch the ball, and it wasn't a pass interference. I mean, it was incredible stuff. So, I mean, they played okay yesterday, for the exception of a couple players back there. Who is Marcus Lattimore? Marcus, I'm not going to criticize anybody for making that mistake because I see that quite a bit. Now, Marcus Lattimore was the star running back of the University of South Carolina. Some of y'all probably know who he was. I mean, this guy was supposed to be the next big thing, next big running back. He ended up tearing each one of his ACLs in his left and in his right leg. You know what I'm saying? So, that's who he is, though. You know what I'm saying? That's who he is, But Marshawn Lattimore, of course, we know he is the starting cornerback for the Saints. Panthers fan here. Good game, guys. Man, shouts out to you, Ben. That was a good game. I don't think anybody should be mad at a game like that. I don't think. I mean, there had to be a loser, you know what I'm saying? And there had to be a winner unless it was a tie. But I think both teams came away from that game believing in what they saw on the field. It wasn't like Carolina got blew out. It wasn't like Teddy Bridgewater didn't play well. I mean, honestly, him and Drew Brees was almost like mirrors of one another. Their stats were almost virtually identical. Their touchdown passes were identical, okay? I mean, so I think both teams can come away from that game happy with their franchise. The Panthers are trying to build something right now. So, it's not really expected. No disrespect to the Panthers, but it's not really expected for the Panthers building this team right now for them to be the team like the Saints. But if they build and they try to go in the right direction, you got some of those young secondary players. They're going to start to get more mature. They're going to start to get a little bit more game knowledge and game film under their belt. So if you're a Panthers fan, I think you can come away from that game very, very excited. And it's always good to watch the Saints play the Panthers, okay? I mean, the all-time record, you know what I'm saying, for these two teams were 24-24 going into this game. So it was a tie. So it's always good every time the Saints and the Carolina Panthers link up. I got respect for the Carolina Panthers. Their fan base, being out here in South Carolina, they're passionate about their team. Shouts out to my guy, Mike Ricks. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably seen him on the show a couple of times. And of course, from the NFC South versus NFL. I mean, shouts out to the Carolina Panthers. The future is bright, man. It is going to be a tough NFC South for the foreseeable future because the Carolina Panthers and Teddy Bridgewater are going to be coming to your town. Austin says Marcus Williams has upside, but our main issue is coaching. We are blowing coverages all the time. Yeah, Austin, I really feel like if Marcus Williams go to another team, he'll be much better than he is in the Saints uniform. I feel like the Saints have stunted this guy's growth. And honestly, I think a change of scenery might do him some good because of, fans like us. That's right, I said it. It's fans like us that can't never let him live down the Minneapolis Miracle because anytime he makes a mistake, we're right there to criticize him about it. So I think if you were to give him a change of scenery, and like I said, I like Marcus Williams, you know what I'm saying? But I think a change of scenery might do him some good. I think him being away from a place where they gave him probably one of his worst moments in history, I think it might do him some good because I really just don't feel like as good as he is catching the football, as instinctive as he is, but just feel like he needs someone to kind of instill a different type of philosophy inside of him. I think we will win a Super Bowl with Winston in the future. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I don't know. I think we might win some games with him. Super Bowl, might be a little tough one. Saints played a good game, but we want more from the defense. Oh man, I mean, defense definitely leaves a lot to be desired. But I think they played okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know they gave up some plays. I know there was a busted coverage, but I mean, for the most part, they did okay, man. I mean, people just have to understand, man, Teddy is a guy that's not going to make mistakes. Teddy is going to take what the defense gives him. This guy is like a mirror of Drew Brees. Like the way that he approaches the game, how his mind works, I think I see a lot of similarities with Drew Brees. Because the frustrating thing about Teddy Bridgewater is the same thing that's frustrating to us about Drew Brees. The fact that we feel like they take what the defense give them and they check it down too much. So, Teddy gonna check it down, no doubt about that. Joseph says teams don't even try to run the ball anymore on us because they know they can't, but they know our secondary will blow a coverage at some point. Yeah, that's true, man. The Saints front four are very stout against the run. Linebackers are really good against the run. Mike Davis couldn't do nothing on yesterday. And the Saints did a really good job bottling him up. But like you said, a passing game, man, is two things that's going to happen. It's going to be a big play or it's going to be, a pass interference. That's just the way that it's going to be. Defense is our problem. Every single year seems to be our problem. Every single year. And I'm really getting tired of it. I like seeing Teddy come to sit on our bench on that one play. I'm sure he's forever grateful. Yeah, man, that just shows Teddy personality, and that's one of the reasons why nobody can say nothing negative about Teddy Bridgewater. Look, whether you like Teddy Bridgewater or not, whether you didn't buy into the whole Teddy as a starting quarterback thing or not, one thing you can't say about Teddy Bridgewater earned the respect of the New Orleans Saints fan base. And no matter what he does in life, he's always going to be held to a high regard by Saints fans. I mean, it's just the truth. People love Teddy. Like, when Teddy first got here, we like, man, why we got him? He played in that game back in 2018 against the Carolina Panthers. We like, man, this ain't it, bro. But then, you know what I'm saying, he comes out there, Drew Brees gets hurt, he plays 5 games, and the next thing you know, man, the whole entire stadium is chanting his name. So Teddy Bridgewater, no matter where he goes, whether he stays in Carolina for the rest of his career or not, people are always going to respect Teddy Bridgewater and his contributions, no doubt about that. I was all for keeping Teddy. I think a lot of people were. And honestly, if Drew Brees didn't get hurt, then Teddy Bridgewater would still be a Saint. That's just the way I feel, folks. I feel like if he would have never played, then he would have ended up still being with the Saints. But when you go out there, you see him ball out, you see him win 5 games, and you see the competition that he went up against. And, I mean, his first start, it was on primetime television. It was against the Dallas Cowboys. And even though the Saints didn't light up the scoreboard, he still was doing some really good things. So he played himself into some elite money. And, that's why he plays for Carolina right now. Why can't DJ play safety? I have not a clue. He better than most of what the Saints have. I love Teddy to death, but I think Winston has a better upside. I can see why you would say that. Jameis Winston, first pick overall, had all the tools, but a lot of people aren't paying attention to this, man. For a long time, man, when Teddy was at Louisville, a lot of people thought that Teddy Bridgewater was going to be a first pick overall until he had his pro day and he didn't look good, And the reason why a lot of people say that he didn't do good in his pro day because he didn't have on 2 gloves, right? We call him Teddy 2 gloves, right? But he didn't have his gloves on that day. For the first time in his entire career, he threw the ball without gloves. I don't know who idea was that. I'm pretty sure it was the agent or something like that, but he ended up getting fired. Long story short. DK Metcalf made a better tackle last night than anyone on the Saints defense did at all. DH, if it wasn't, it was one hell of a hustle. DK Metcalf, look, shame on every single team that passed up on this guy, including the Saints. I mean, I don't know what the heck was going on. I mean, the guy ran like a 4.3. He was real good in college. Physical specimen, man. Got muscles where you don't even supposed to have muscles. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I don't understand how in the heck did this guy pass by all these teams to end up in Seattle the way that he did. I mean, can you imagine DK Metcalf and Michael Thomas being on the same team? My goodness. That would be a force to be reckoned with. Let's see. Let me see, Jerry. I'm gonna go ahead and send a link. Jerry, you'll be my last phone call of the day because I'm about to go ahead and wrap it up, man. I got to go ahead and get started with some radio station stuff. So, just want to I'll go ahead. I just sent the link, Jerry, so you can go ahead and dial in, man. Keep Teddy. Thank you for the $2. Benjamin Demur was all for me. Well, I don't know. Look, I think that Teddy was a really good quarterback. I think that he had a lot of skills. I think that he had a huge upside. I think the sky was the limit for him, but I mean, it happens. It just happens. Sometimes you think that you have that guy. You think you're going to have him sitting on the bench. Next thing you know, he goes out there. Whole world sees him. Next thing you know, you can't keep him. And I knew it. I said, when Teddy started winning football games, I'm like, he ain't coming back. The only way that Teddy would come back if Drew Brees retires. And Drew Brees wasn't ready to retire. So therefore, Teddy ended up going to Carolina. And now we got to see him twice for the foreseeable future. TB12 passed up Drew in career touchdowns yesterday. Did y'all really think Drew will retire without that record? Because he'll need to play a year beyond Tom Brady to get it. Look, I don't care about that, man. I don't care about those records. I really don't. I don't care about no touchdown record, man. I just care about them winning championships. I don't care about Drew Brees padding the stats. You know what I'm saying? And Drew Brees has too many statistical records as it is. So, no matter to me. Teddy, thank you very much for the $2. Says I was huge. Yeah, man, you definitely left a huge impact in New Orleans. We're gonna go to the OG of the State of the Saints podcast, Jerry Poor. What's going on, Jerry? Jerry, are you there?
What's going on, TJ Jones, the host?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, how you doing today, man? Yeah, I definitely can hear you, my friend.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I definitely can hear you. We're talking about Carolina and New Orleans. I want to know what you think about the game on yesterday. Can you hear me?
Well, I got to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly on what happened. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I'm sorry, I'm getting a bad signal. Hold on a second. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Jerry.
TJ?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting bad reception over here. Forgive me for that.
Nah, that's fine.
But I got to give you my intake on yesterday. Yeah, well, first the good. I'm happy to see that the Saints fans are back in town. Are back in the dome. So I'm very happy about that. And the offense played very well. So that's a good thing.
Right. What do you think about Drew Brees? What do you think about Drew Brees on yesterday?
Oh, he did an outstanding job yesterday. What surprised me when he did that play with Kamara to Smith. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, that was a good play. I mean, nobody expected that. That's probably, usually when Sean Payton call out the trick plays, I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But I thought it was a good move. I thought it was a good move by them because nobody expected it at all. I mean, what do you think about the secondary?
Now that's the bad news I want to talk about right there. That's the bad right there. They played like hot garbage. On yesterday. Couldn't even tackle nobody, man. I mean, come on, bro. You gotta make that sack or tackle or something.
Right. That was horrible. That was horrible.
That was horrible, man. That's ridiculous.
It's definitely ridiculous. I just hope, I just hate that this is going to be our defense. I hate to tell everybody this. I'm telling you, anybody that played football, you know that it probably take about 3 or 4 weeks for a team to kind of turn things around, and you will actually see if a team is going to be legit offensively or defensively. After those 4 weeks, if you still seeing the same thing, guess what, Who Dat Nation? That's exactly who your team is, whether it's offensively or defensively. And the Saints defensively, man, right now, man, they can't stop traffic in that secondary. They can't.
No,
I mean,
but I tell you, but I will shed some light on yesterday, especially like about the last almost 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give it to Marcus Davenport. Much as you talk about him, I gotta give.
Oh
it
man.
Because that man saved us yesterday.
He definitely did.
Yesterday, so and that's what led to that missed field goal by Carolina.
Right.
The
thing about it is, I mean, I don't look, Jerry. I mean, the question has never been, can Marcus Davenport play? That's never been the issue. It's been his inability to stay on the field. That's been the only issue. It had absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he couldn't play. Why I played the little life gift is because he has been soft. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it, but if he continues to play the way that he did on yesterday, then I think we'll be able to change that narrative, man. You know what I'm saying? We won't be able to we'll have to find that we'll have to use that meme for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to use it for another player. But he definitely, like you say, he definitely saved us on yesterday. And I hope it's a sign of things to come for Davenport. No doubt about that, Jerry. You got anything else, man?
Oh yeah, one last thing. I got to give you the ugly. I gave you the good and I gave you the bad, but I got to give you.
What was that?
Especially that play that led to a touchdown being called back because of an offensive pass interference by Traquan Smith. I'm like, really?
Wow.
I'm gonna explain, and I know you say this a lot, TJ. But the referees and the NFL freaking hate our guts, man.
Yeah, they hate us.
I'm gonna call it a spade, bro.
Call it.
They hate us so much. I don't know why.
Man.
3 times. Many times we try to get. Look, for example, you run a running play for like 10 to 20 yards.
Right.
What happened? Holding. Offense. Okay. Do a passing play. Good that going drive down the field. Illegal shift. Offense. Get ready to snap. False start. I'm like, come on, man. Wake up.
Man, I can name at least 3 plays right off the top of my head that the referees act as if like they didn't even exist. It was one play where Drew Brees did a hard snap count and Carolina jumped off sides. Now, Drew Brees ended up completing the ball to Marquez Callaway for a first down. I think it was like 15 yards. But it should have been a free play. So I'm just wondering to myself, what if Drew Brees would have threw the ball deep and it would have got an intercepted? And you didn't throw that flag. There was 2 face mask penalties that should have been called. I think a linebacker grabbed Alvin Kamara's face mask. They did not call that at all. I'm telling you, man. I know people say it, you know what I'm saying, especially when they team probably, losing or something like that. But I'm really serious, man. The referees have it out for the Saints, and it's only a matter of time before these referees cost the Saints a game. And I'm looking at that Tampa Bay game because we all know how much they love themselves some Tom Brady, and they're going to do everything in their power to try to keep that game as close. And I don't know if Vegas called the referees or something. It's almost like that Buffalo Wild Wings commercial, right? Like when everybody wanted to stay at Buffalo Wild Wings for long. So there was like nobody wanted to go home. So they called the referees, and the referees kept on like, throwing flags. That's kind of like what it's like when watching a Saints game. I mean, that play, I feel so bad for Callaway. I feel so bad for the kid. That would have been his first touchdown of his career. First touchdown. And it was called back on some bull. And if you look at it, Carolina went right down the field to tie the game. So, honestly, if you would have scored that touchdown, the Saints wouldn't have had to worry about that 65-yard field goal if Sly was going to make it or not. So, I mean, it cost these guys 4 points in this game. I don't care what anybody says. It's become a point. It has come to a point, Jerry, where it's almost like a parody at this time, at this particular moment. It's like, okay, the Saints are known for the referees screwing them, so let's live up to that narrative. Throw flags on them. That's what it's like. That's what it's like to me.
Now, I agree with you, TJ, but I got to give it to Marquez Callaway, man, because that dude was balling yesterday, man.
Oh yes.
That dude was balling yesterday, man. I got to give it to him.
Right. Yeah, he definitely did his thing, man. No doubt about that.
But the next man up right there, bro.
That definitely true definition of next man up. Jerry, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call, man. You already know you the OG. You always first in line, my friend.
Original genius of the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. Call back anytime, my friend.
Anytime, man. Take care, brother.
You too, man. Hey, man, and my brother that was just waiting on the line, man. I know I said Jared's gonna be the last one, but he's been waiting patiently, man. Terrio, man, what's going on, man? How you doing? Thank you for calling the State of the Saints podcast, my friend.
Oh, what's up, TJ, bro? What's up, man? I've been messing with your channel for a minute now.
I appreciate it, man, and thank you for taking your Monday morning, man. It's kind of early, man. What you on, Central Time, Eastern Time? Where you at?
I'm right in Mississippi.
So you're Central. That'll be Central Time, man. Yeah. So you're about 10 o'clock where you at right now. What part of Mississippi?
Good old Picayune.
Okay, Picayune, man. Okay, man. I used to go to the pumpkin patch out there when I was in elementary school, man. So shouts out to Picayune, man. No doubt about that. Hey, Terrio, man. So we talking about the Saints-Carolina game, man. Saints got that victory. They 4-2 right now. Everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? We still one game back from Tampa Bay, but what do you see out of that game, man? What's your final thoughts on that Carolina Saints game?
Man, I got mixed emotions about the whole team in general. You know, I feel like we can go 13-3. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, Tampa Bay looking real powerful right now, but I feel like we can overcome them. We probably can go, you know, beat them in Tampa. Hopefully we can. But that secondary, I be seeing flashes. But
you say you be seeing flashes. I mean, what you got a camera or something? Because I don't see none. I don't see no flash.
They can be they can be great at times. Sometimes, man.
Somebody got a Polaroid.
I don't want to give up on them, bro. I don't want to give up on them. I feel like they can get it. They can get it together. But they ain't looking too good for them right now. Hopefully by end of the season they'll be in playoff. You know, in playoff bill, but right now,
not looking too good, man.
And Marshawn Lattimore, bro, I got his jerseys. I got 2 of his jerseys up in the room, bro. That's my boy.
Hey, that's my guy too, man. Like I said, man, like he a real personable. He a real personable guy, Terrio. You know, anytime like I mention him or something like that, man, he always respond back, man, show love. So good, solid dude, man. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I can't let that slide, man, the way that he's been playing. You know, like I feel like he's better than he be playing. And I just think that it shouldn't take Julio to come to town.
It shouldn't take Julio.
You lock somebody down.
He should just whoever he cover, he should send him to the shadow realm.
Right.
whoever he covered.
Right.
I don't know, man. And
I
see Marcus Williams.
My goodness.
They can be so much better, bro. I mean,
man, they should be.
I feel like it's the coaching, positional coaching. You know, something gonna have to change, man.
Yeah, I said that on social media yesterday, Terrio. I said
I saw that
after this season, man. I'm over it. I really am. I'm over it. Like I feel like what we see right now. This is the 2020 Saints. That's who they are. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a bunch of highs and a bunch of lows. And when they low, they're gonna be low. And when they high, they high. You know, but I just feel like we need to reach a point where we don't have to worry about the defense. Like it shouldn't be we shouldn't be at a point that when a ball is in the air, we're holding our breath, and then when it goes past the receiver, or you know what I'm saying, the receiver don't catch, we're like, oh, thank God. Like we should automatically just think that, man, they got this. We don't even feel like that. Like, when the last time you felt that way about the Saints defense? Like, you just knew for a fact they was going to come in and they was just going to ball out. I mean, you have to go back to, like, Jim Haslett days before that happened. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a Greg Williams defense. But it's getting ridiculous right now, man. And I'm like, you wasting all of this great talent offensively. You paying guys these contracts. You had all this young talent came to this team in 2017, and you have absolutely nothing to show for it. Like, honestly, the Saints have become, I hate to say this, but they're the Buffalo Bills of the 21st century. Like, seriously. The Buffalo Bills won all them games for the exception of going to the Super Bowl. The Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 straight times and lost. If you look at the Saints, the way that the Bills were, I get a lot of Bills vibes with the Saints, man. I'm serious, man. Like, they got to change some things, Terrio. No doubt about that, man. But what do you think about Drew Brees? But what do you think about Drew Brees, man? I want to ask you that before you go.
Man, I feel like Drew Brees is great. He a Hall of Famer, but I feel like he should have been retired like 2 seasons ago. That's just my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we make it to we're gonna lose every round in the playoffs, and it's like I don't want to put the all the blame on him, but bro, we need them big plays, man. Like 3 or 4 of them, and it seems like every time he make a big play, bro, I hold my breath because I'm looking for an interception.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he balled out yesterday. I can't even hate. That's probably
He balled out yesterday.
That probably was the best game. That probably was the best game Drew Brees played. I have to say, man, you got to go back some years. Like, you got to, man, because you got to look at, you got to grade Drew Brees on a scale because he's great. That's the, like, for no Michael Thomas, no Emmanuel Sanders, a bunch of guys that were on the practice squad. They went out there and they won a game with those guys. So, man, you got to give credit what credit's due on that. That probably was one of his best performances in the Saints uniform. As much dueling. Now, what you say?
My problem with it is Drew Brees. It's like 1 week, then the next week, you know what I'm saying? Next week we probably gonna be talking about he probably gonna go.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, I
feel like
they do have the Bears. They do have the Bears, and the Bears are a different type of beast defensively. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to find a way to win, man, because like you said, Tampa, they looking like real serious right now. Which I mean, I'm not really
like
concerned.
World beaters right now.
I'm not.
They get Antonio Brown?
Yeah, they got Antonio Brown, man. They got Antonio Brown too. But look, the way I look at it, man, I'm just call me naive, but I've seen this before. The Saints always play elite teams tough. Like you're not blowing out the Saints. Like that's the Falcons were the last team I think I remember. Like I can really just say blew the Saints out, and it was right off that bye week last year. The Saints are always right in the middle of the game to the very end. You don't blow them out. You don't. I don't care who come to town. They had the 40 freaking Niners came to town last season. The 49ers was hotter than fish grease. Defensively, offensively, they just got Emmanuel Sanders on their squad. Those dudes was balling out. And the Saints went toe-to-toe with them cats. So Carolina, Tampa, there ain't nothing they can tell me, man. I'm excited about their fan base and all. I'm happy that they actually are relevant. You know what I'm saying? As if they acting like they've been relevant for 10 years or something like that. But anyway, I'm happy they're relevant because, they've been dealing with stuff for so long. But let's not act like they about to just come and just blow the Saints out. If you think that, man, I just want to know what type of weed they smoking.
No, they ain't gonna do that.
And it's too early for that. You know what I'm saying? It's way too early for that. It's about 11 o'clock here, so put the weed down, man. Leave it alone. I don't know.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do that, bro. I feel like we can get him, bro. I feel like at the season, I feel like, Drew Brees, he might need a 3 games off or something.
Yeah. I mean, and you got to look at the fact, Terry. Yeah, and you got to look at the fact that he just came off a bye week too, man. You got to keep that in mind too. He had a week to rest that arm up. You know what I'm saying? And he had a week. He had a week to rest that arm up. You know what I'm saying? Like almost what? The last game they played Monday night, so about 10, 11 days he had to play. So, yeah. Yeah, man. So,
yeah.
But I'm looking forward. It's going to be exciting.
Man.
Yeah, man. It's going to be an exciting game against Chicago. But, Terrio, thank you so much for calling. My brother, call back anytime, man.
Man, I appreciate you for having me on here.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to you out there Picayune, man. Go find me a pumpkin, man, real quick, man. Shouts out to that pumpkin patch, my brother. Take care. Yeah, man. I used to go to Picayune all the time when I was a kid, man. Picayune, Mississippi to the pumpkin patch, man. Shouts out to Picayune. Shouts out to Gulfport. I know my boy Jared Porter, OG, is out there. And shouts out to Vicksburg, Mississippi. That's where my mom stays, man. Shouts out to Vicksburg. And, of course, Jackson, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Jackson, Mississippi, the home of Jackson State University, my alma mater, man. No doubt about it. I'm going to take one more question, and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. And I'm going to just, Brian says, it's never too early for weed, TJ. Brian, with the wake and bake. You Brian Waking and Bacon. Cries talk about the Sonic Boom. Derek says we should sign Earl Thomas, and Shark ended it all with cut Marcus Williams. Okay, well, not a lot of Marcus Williams fans up in here. Shark wrote this. What? 2? Shark has written cut Marcus Williams at least 5 times on the comments. So he's really, really adamant about that, man. Yeah, but seriously, man, shouts out to Tyra. I see she commented. She said talking about the podcast. Man, shouts out to you, Tyra. Man, shouts out to everybody in the chat, man. I wish I could get to everybody, but we're going to have to go ahead and cut it short, man. But thank y'all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you to everybody that chimed in. Jared Port Jr., Justin, Who Dat Davis, Terrio, Ramsey called in, my guy. Man, shouts out to all y'all boys, man. Eric, man, Buck Skull Game. Thank y'all so much for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast. And look, even if you want to call in, don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid to call in. You know, like, this isn't one of them shows where, you know, I'm trying to, you know, make anybody look bad or anything like that. If you're a Saints fan, look, that's good enough for me. You know, you can call anytime. Thank y'all so much for your love and your support. Thank you for everybody that's been supporting me since day one. Thank you all for helping the State of the Saints podcast grow. Man, I mean, bro, I remember the time when I had like 4 subscribers, and now we're moving towards 5,000 subscribers, man. That is unbelievable. And I'm humbled, man. I'm extremely humbled. Thank y'all so much for liking and sharing the video. And if this is your first time, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. Also on Facebook, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. You enjoy the rest of your day. You be safe. Enjoy your Monday. And like always, all I got to say is, who dat?